In this lesson, you're going to compare and contrast two genres, informational text and historical fiction. You're going to be able to recognize and analyze genre-specific characteristics. That means features that are specific and unique to each one of the genres, historical fiction and informational text. You'll also be able to recognize genre-specific structures and author's purpose across increasingly complex texts. Okay, so you've studied two different genres in the last few weeks. You have studied informational text, and today we've introduced you to historical fiction. What graphic organizer would be the best one to choose to be able to compare and contrast two things? Hopefully you said the Venn diagram. So that's what I'm going to do right here. I'm going to make a really big section in the middle. The middle is where we'll write how they are similar. Both include real events, right? We also know that the setting is real. Remember, setting is the time and the place. We know that both texts have to have accurate information, historically accurate information, we will say here. We've learned some different text features about informational text. So they're very unique to informational text. So in our section under informational text, we will write informational text features. Those include the features we learned about last week, like maps and insets and timelines, sidebars, tables of contents, things like that. The informational text is not usually read from beginning to end. Remember, it's usually read like we pick and choose an article here and an article there. Here an article, there an article. So it's not in chronological order. Whereas historical fiction is a story. Remember chron from last week? Time order. So historical fiction is a story told from beginning to end in the time order, not necessarily like the informational text features that we found. How else are they different? Can you think of any other ways that they're different? In informational text, are there any fiction characters? No, never, never, never. But in historical fiction, some of the characters are fictional. Some are real, some are fictional. There's a mix of both. Not all of them though. Some of them have real people. Do we write that in here? Let's add that here in the middle. Some real people. They both have something real, but historical fiction, some of them are fictional. We learned from our anchor chart that historical fiction is written to inform us of something that was going on in a certain time in history. And of course, informational text is always written to inform. So we'll put here in the middle, purpose is to inform. To inform us. Historical fiction is written to inform us of what went on back then, but the author wants it to be kind of entertaining. They want us to get attached to the characters. So even though historical fiction is written by an author to inform you of something that's going on, that went on in a certain time and place in history, it's also meant to entertain the reader. Whereas informational text, sometimes it's written in a way that we are interested, but it's never written for entertainment purposes. Informational text is always written to inform or teach the reader about a topic. In your assignment today, be sure to read all of these reminders about historical fiction characteristics, and then be sure to click on the notebook and answer the question. Historical fiction includes facts about real people, places, and events to tell a story. How is that similar to and different from the way that informational text uses facts. This should be a piece of cake for you since we just made a whole Venn diagram on it. Click on the notebook, use complete sentences, capital letters at the beginning of sentences, punctuation at the end, and then happy Monday. Remember, always do your very best.